Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Lords of the Night. With me, as always, is the Lord of Pain, Ranting Monkey,
Hello.
and the Lord of Puppies, SDA.
What's up?
And I am your host, Scribe, the Lord of... I really need to write something down. I never have anything prepared for myself.
That is the longest Lord title I've ever heard.
I know. I like them long because it makes it more important.
Heard him. Scribbles likes it long.
I like it long and hard. Anyway, how are you guys?
I'm freezing, but otherwise well. How are you?
I'm searching for a title.
I'm good.
That's good. Let's see. Hello, chat. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us as always. Monkey Dick, Jim Jones, movies. Hit that like button if you haven't already. And please share our stuff. We appreciate it when you do.
Did we say that last night?
What? The Lord Monkey Dick?
Yeah.
I wasn't here for the first half hour, so I don't know.
I think we forgot it last night.
Oh, well, then last night was cursed.
Huh.
Or something.
Anyhow.
So let's see. Do we have anything to cover before we get into the news?
Nothing.
The Australians decided that the gays could gay.
Did they actually vote, or did they just?
They just had the poll.
Oh, they just had the poll. Okay, so they haven't voted yet.
No, not yet. But I mean, like what they said is that they're going to do it.
Somebody downvoted the stream already. We're not even a minute in, and we got a downvote.
It was me. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm sure it was.
I'll fix it. Oh, you know what? It wasn't. The blue thing is on the upvote. I upvoted it. I liked it. Yay, got me.
Yay! And Chatmord says, "Guys, my uterus is exploding."
Uh-oh.
Why do you have a happy face next to that?
I don't know what. Are you having a baby?
The Lords of the Night is not a medical professional.
Yeah, don't look to us for any medical stuff. I mean, I can pretend to be a gynecologist. No.
Scribe.
No.
Grow. You can't just do that.
Send us a picture. I'll tell you what I think.
All right.
You're gross.
Yeah, I know. I was like, yeah, so Weibo says, does that mean you're in labor? And I'm like, that's what I was thinking. Like, my uterus is exploding. All right. Well, anyway.
Maybe it's just the sound of our voices.
Ooh, that's it. Ooh, well, I don't think the uterus is the thing that goes all happy when that. I don't know. I don't know how women work. Don't ask me.
If she hears our voices and it makes her want to have her baby, that would see.
Oh, so are you saying we trigger her biological clock?
Yes.
Oh.
Make her ovaries dance.
Oh, so this is like we're like this is like a mating call.
Yes, exactly. Okay.
Thank you, Meshisu.
You know what I'm talking.
Hey, Monkey, seems like me being a constant pain in the ass has finally paid off. Can't wait to see the live stream tomorrow with you and Anime. Do we have a guest tomorrow?
No, I'm going to be on Anime's channel. Anime Renee is doing her first live stream ever, and I'm going to be her guest.
And Chatmore says, yes, you trigger early menopause. We were just talking about that before the stream. Easily enough. I made a joke about menopause.
We trigger early menopause? That's not nice.
So we made you old? I don't know.
We turned off her biological clock.
Yeah, we turned off her biological. Okay. All right. So yes, the voices of Monkey and Scribe kill uterus. All right.
Yes. Would it be uteruses or uteri?
Let's see. Uteri. Snubber13 says, Scribelight, instead of an ad, can I super chat you to read something, especially something from a video game? I need more context, but by all means, you can super chat to have me say whatever, because I will read it, whatever you super chat. So
if it's horrible, we'll attribute it to you. Make sure it's well attributed to you.
Yeah, it's like, I do not endorse this horrible thing this person's making me say, but they are saying blah. Anyway, so Schnuzz. The Schnuzz?
Yes.
It wasn't even SDA's night. Today? Well, it wasn't even SDA's night, but we have a shooting.
Oh, dear God.
California. 4 dead after California shooting. Gunman tried to enter a school.
Hey, I'm not shootings. I'm terror attacks. Okay.
Oh, pardon moi. The gunman appeared to select his targets randomly. A mother driving with her children, a squat schoolhouse in rural Northern California, where students and teachers were starting their day. 5 people are dead, including the attacker, and 10 wounded after a string of shootings Tuesday morning in at least 7 locations in remote Tehama County, about 125 northwest. How about 125 miles, CNN? Could you put that word in there? 125 northwest of Sacramento, Assistant Sheriff Phil Johnston said. The gunman, who has not been publicly identified, tried to enter Rancho Tehama Elementary School, which was on lockdown. Quote, "The incident could have been so much worse," Johnston said, crediting the school staff for quickly securing the building. The gunman had a tactical vest with extra magazines for his guns, Johnston said. The incident at the school lasted about 6 minutes, said the police, who viewed surveillance video of the shooting. Police killed the gunman after a shooting spree that appears to have begun with a dispute with a neighbor and ended in a roadside gunfight with police. The wounded victims included a mother who was driving her children to school when the unidentified attacker opened fire on them, without provocation or warning, the assistant sheriff said. The woman was being treated for life-threatening injuries. A child who was in the vehicle was not seriously wounded, according to Johnston. Hours into an investigation that involves the FBI, the ATF, and California Highway Patrol, the motive for the shootings remains unclear. Quote, "We have no known motive," Johnston said. "We know of no real connection to any of the victims. Most of the victims in this case appear to be random selections." A visibly shaken Johnston told reporters earlier, "This is a sad day for us here in Tehama County." And then they talk about people's reactions, and yeah, so that happened. Thank you, Sanguine. Evening all. Sorry I am late. Ad, a movie about monster hunters in the 1800s hunting a Nalusa phalea.
What the hell is that?
That sounds like some kind of Greek pastry, but I will assume it's something more mythological, and I will give it a shot. Thank you, Sanguine. And thank you, Mr. Baker. Ad for a movie. Whoa, it jumped on me. Sorry. Ad for a movie about the life of Alolim, the mythical first king of Eridu, and his rise to power with at least one line in the Sumerian language. Jeez Louise, guys. All right. I'll give it a shot. This is
how to say wow in Sumerian. That's
yeah, I'll have to look up some Sumerian. I think the last time I heard Sumerian was in Ghostbusters, maybe? Anyway, Mr. Baker. Maybe it's like I'm the mythological power hour when I'm doing these ads lately. Okay, thank you guys so much. I got your ads on the list. So yeah, shooting, people dead, random bullshit.
Let me ask you a question, because they go to some pretty weird extremes to try to trip you up. Would anything like more normal trip you up just as well? Like, say, American history. Is there any like time frame that could fuck you up real good there?
1 second. Snubber, thank you so much for my ad/reading the monologue narrated at the end of Fallout New Vegas DLC Old World Blues, preferably with a dystopian tone. So you just want me to do like a dramatic reading of something that already exists. Okay, I can certainly give, at least I don't have to write it. Somebody else has already written it for me. I just have to be dramatic about it. I will do that, Snubbers.
You need a fainting couch for it.
Yeah. And thank you, Sanguine, for your non-research one, small batch orphans? What? I don't know what that means, but I will look it up. Or if you can give me some more context. Small batch orphans. I don't know what that is.
Are those like Cabbage Patch Kids?
Now, Sanguine, you said it would be a non-research one, so I will have to look that up. Is there something from American history that would trip me up? Well, you see, obviously with these trailers and ads and things, I don't go into like super deep depth of them. Right. So if somebody, I mean, the kind of ad that would make me uncomfortable is if you asked me to do an ad, like the one time someone asked me to do an ad about Mass Effect, like the Mass Effect trilogy, right? The Mass Effect trilogy. I'm like, that is a massive universe of stuff, and I have absolutely no experience with it. And even if I looked it up on, Wikipedia or something, I wouldn't possibly know the characters, the dynamics, any of that stuff. So things that are like really intricate details, like somebody said, summarize the Game of Thrones. Like, oh fuck, I don't know. Thank you, Point Curation, for no reason in particular except to say zap. All right, zap. Thank you, Point Curation. But yeah, no, I look at them as kind of like a challenge. If I have to look up some mythological thing or come up with a way to make a movie out of it. I'm trying to, when somebody says, make up an ad about a god or some mythological being or something, I try to avoid they became human or walk amongst us stuff, but that's hard to avoid without. Kagamandoa, thank you. Movie ad for a Romeo Juliet story between Mandalore the Ultimate and Darth Revan from Star Wars The Old Republic. Okay, Mandalore the Ultimate. Okay, so Revan would have to be a female in that iteration, and Mandalore during the war. During the Mandalorian Wars. Okay, thank you, Kagaman.
What's wrong with the gays?
What's wrong with the gays?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Make it gay. Make it gay.
I don't want to make it gay.
Well, but like, I don't know. I just don't think that.
Unless Kagam wants me to make it gay.
I think he wants it gay. I mean, like, otherwise you wouldn't have to change it.
Well, Revan.
You're projecting your straight bias.
You're right.
No, I
am. No, he's not.
When he says Romeo and Juliet and not Romeo and Romeo, I am assuming he means male and female.
Romeo and Steve.
Make it gay, goddammit.
If he wants me to make it male Revan, I will do male Revan. I just was like, I'd rather make it something that I can relate to. What do you say?
Revan could be male or female, for the record.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm just throwing that out there because she's obviously never played.
I mean, canonically, Revan is male, but as far as if you play the game, you can choose either one, and it has no effect except in some dialogue options and relationships with some of your companions. So.
Well, that's why I'm going with canon.
Well, it's up to the person who paid for it.
Well, and he paid for a canon ad, I believe. Maybe I'm wrong.
Kagam, how gay do you want it to be?
Yeah.
I don't think you should take your straight bias and, Romeo and Homeo. That's right, Weebo.
Romeo and Homeo. Oh, God. Well, anyway, so there was a shooting. Oh, okay. Sleeper Steven, thank you. Adware Scribe works for CNN and Chris Cillizza is his boss. Oh, God. Yeah, the title of that movie is going to be called Going Postal, but okay. I will give it a shot. Sleeper.
Nice.
Oh, Lord. I can think of already a couple of titles that might work for that. All right. Kagamandoa says make it gay. All right. You got it. Make it gay. All right.
I thoroughly love being right.
Well, that just tells us your political leanings, but nothing else. California shooting, awful. I don't know what else to say about it. The guy's dead. His motivation, who knows? And it doesn't really change anything. So. Oh, did I get
the only
thing
I have to say is.
And is Chris Cillizza's boss? Oh, I'm his boss? Oh, okay, I see.
This is going to be the movie.
Left off the apostrophe S there. That's what got me confused. Okay, I changed it. Okay. First Cynic says canon ? Yes, canonical, as in the official storyline. In the video game, you can choose your avatar to be male or female, and it changes some dialogue stuff and things. But the official gender of Revan in the Star Wars continuity, or the old expanded universe continuity, is male. That's what canon or canonical means. All right. Shooting aside, what else do we got? Oh, yeah. Well, the title of the stream. Roy Moore has more under fire. Now, did you guys do a story yesterday? I wasn't here for it, about the lady who came forward accusing Roy Moore of groping her when she was 16. Hello? 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 Am I breaking up or are you breaking up? Because you sound awful.
No, you're not breaking up. Calm down. Sorry.
And monkey's all muddled up.
Oh. Is Monkey talking?
Well, I heard bits and pieces of him trying. Yeah, you're completely off the radar, Monkey.
You sound like a. Sorry, I was all muted because, like I said, like Jinx is usually going nuts right now.
Yeah. Jesse Jess, thank you. Scribbles, for us anime fans, Full Metal Alchemist, Roy Mustang's Yeoman's miniskirt uniform shop. That is walking up on the line of I don't know what any of that means, but I will give it my best shot. Thank you, Jesse Jess.
Is this any better?
Yes, you sound normal
better.
now. So what were you trying to say earlier?
How's it going?
I was just telling you, yes, we had covered that story.
Okay. Thank you, Point Curation. Watch it be Colbert next. Colbert next?
Oh, I wouldn't be surprised. Called out for sexual harassment.
For the sexual
harassment?
allegations or harassment or whatever.
That'd be amazing. Well, anyway, so there's more.
Okay, hold on. Amazing?
It would amaze me if Stephen Colbert was accused of that.
Okay.
Yes.
Sorry.
Is that okay? All right. Thank you, Sweeper. This one is from Sylvanus, an ad where Joker, played by Weibo, and Riddler, played by Scribe, overstuffing hot dogs as a Superman versus Batman, but Chaos versus Lords of the Night. Okay. I might need a little clarification. I'm a little confused on that one, guys. You might have to. I'm not quite sure what that means, but I will give it a shot. Oh man. Okay, let me. All right, I've got it down. If you can tweet me a little bit more detail so I don't mess that up. I don't want to mess that up. Anyway, so the RNC has withdrawn from fundraising agreement with Roy Moore campaign. This was CNN's top headline, so I assume it's important. The Republican National Committee has withdrawn from a joint fundraising agreement with Roy Moore, according to a Federal Election Commission filing posted Tuesday, as the GOP establishment continues to break ties with the Alabama Senate candidate. The National Republican Senatorial Committee was the first to drop itself from the agreement, which benefits Roy Moore's campaign, ending its participation last Friday, according to FEC filings. The Alabama Republican Party and Moore's official senatorial campaign are now the only two entities listed on the joint fundraising agreement. This is the latest step by the Republican Party establishment to distance itself from Moore, following accusations by women who said that Moore pursued relationships with them when they were teenagers and while he was in his 30s. One woman said she was 14 years old when Moore initiated sexual contact with her. On Monday, a separate Alabama woman alleged Moore sexually assaulted her when she was a teenager and described her experience at a news conference represented by attorney Gloria Allred. The RNC did not immediately return requests for comment. So how much of this do you think is legit versus just political maneuvering? And before we answer that, thank you, William Savage. Scribe, please make an advert for Liam Neeson brand mayonnaise.
That's awesome.
Oh, okay, that one I like. That one I can have some fun with here. Let's see, William Savage. Okay, and also thank you, Mr. Baker, an ad for the book Surrounded by Enemies by Bryce Zabel. That's getting very specific, but okay, I will give it a shot. Thank you, Mr. Baker. Yeah, so is this all legit, or is this all just because the Republicans don't want him anywhere near them, and just coincidentally enough, all these torrents of allegations pop up out of nowhere?
I think it's impossible to know.
Yeah, that's the problem. You would think when he was a judge, all of this would have come up, you know?
Yeah.
He wasn't exactly popular there either. But that who really pays attention to your judges? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, sorry.
No, it's just I can't call this one. I really can't. He could be this creepy motherfucker. It could just be. It wouldn't be the first time we've had people, doing it for political reasons either, though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, the only ones that I can say for sure are the ones where the guys went, yeah, I am a creepy piece of shit. Like Louis C.K., where he pretty much apologized. Kevin Spacey, where he decided to then announce that he was gay to try to be like, look, I'm a creepy bastard, but I'm fabulous. I mean, as if that makes a difference. And then, of course, with Harvey Weinstein, being like, well, I'm going to go get help. And it's like, so there we can confirm that they're creepy bastards, but unless they confirm it, there's almost no way to know, especially on ones that are so old, because we have no way to actually gather evidence.
Yeah. So at this point, all it is that his reputation can go in the toilet. Now, as far as I know, he's not going to drop out. I'd be surprised if he does, because it seems like his supporters are supporting him even more now because they feel that he's under attack. So if he wins after this, then what? It's a Donald Trump 2. Chuckles77, thank you. Hi, Scribe. I was wondering if you could have an ad about a Florida man hiding from his responsibility at his second job, because that's what I'm doing now. Okay, I'll make something starring Chuckles77. Thank you, Chuckles.
As far as it being a Donald Trump 2.0, Donald Trump was never actually accused of any specific instance of sexual harassment.
Sure he was.
No, it was just the pussy stuff.
No, there was people talking about him being creepy on the set of The Apprentice.
Oh, right. Yeah. I mean, there was also... Oh, but most of that stuff dropped right after he got elected.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, the whole, energy behind these things. If Roy Moore ends up getting elected, then all of that will lose its quote unquote meaning because he won. It doesn't matter. So
No, it won't in this case, because it gives him a villain in a way that they didn't have with Trump.
Yeah.
You have all of these stories of sexual harassment going on right now. And if a Republican is elected with those accusations going on, that will become the rallying cry of the Democrats for the next election. Guaranteed.
Mm-hmm.
So that would make sense.
Yeah.
Even though he's not really popular amongst Republicans.
True, he's not. And
especially now.
And they're going to leave him to hang out to dry. They're enjoying this as much as Democrats are at the moment, because he was not their choice.
Well, they didn't like him. Nope. Scribe was right. I was wrong. I totally forgot about all of that. What I was thinking of was when Lacey Green said that he was being tried for child rape, and it was like not even close. That's what I was thinking about. I'm sorry.
We had those rumors that popped up right near the election, and that they went away as soon as the election was over. Those ones you're right about.
Right. That's what I was thinking of. I'm sorry about that.
Well, Associated, CNN has also posted this little piece. More than 50 people describe sexual harassment on Capitol Hill. Be extra careful of the male lawmakers who sleep in their offices. They can be trouble. Okay. Avoid finding yourself alone with a congressman or senator in elevators, late night meetings, or events where alcohol is flowing. And think twice before speaking out about sexual harassment from a boss. It could cost you your career. These are a few of the unwritten rules that some female lawmakers, staff, and interns say they follow on Capitol Hill, where they say harassment and coercion is pervasive on both sides of the rotunda. There is also the creep list, an informal roster passed along by word of mouth consisting of the male members most notorious for inappropriate behavior, ranging from making sexually suggestive comments or gestures to seeking physical relations with younger employees and interns. CNN spoke with more than 50 lawmakers, current and former Hill aides, and political veterans who have worked in Congress, the majority of whom spoke anonymously to be candid and avoid potential repercussions. With few exceptions, every person said they have personally experienced sexual harassment on the Hill or know of others who have. In an environment with, quote, so many young women, said one ex-House aide, the men, quote, have no self-control. Of course they don't. Amongst ourselves, we know, a former Senate staffer said, of the lawmakers with the worst reputations. And sometimes the sexual advances from members of Congress or senior aides are reciprocated in the hopes of advancing one's career. Well, then that's their choice, isn't it? Yeah. What one political veteran bluntly referred to as a sex trade on Capitol Hill. These anecdotes portray a workplace where women are subjugated to constant harassment, both subtle and explicit. They also highlight an anticipated reporting system that discourages some victims from speaking out. Oh, sorry, they also highlight an antiquated reporting system that discourages some victims from speaking out, leaving many professionals on the Hill to rely instead on hushed advice from peers and mentors. On Tuesday, a House committee held a hearing to examine the Chamber's sexual harassment policies, and the Senate last week passed a resolution making sexual harassment training mandatory for senators, staff, and interns, two clear acknowledgments of the need for reform. Both House Speaker Paul Ryan and Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell support ramping up sexual harassment training. Thank you, nope, nope. What? CNN anonymous source? No way. Yeah, well.
I do take a huge issue with somebody saying, like I said, we don't know who the hell said it because anonymous source, like Nope Nope said, but somebody saying that, oh, with that many young women, men just can't control themselves. Like, that's absolute bullshit. That's absolute bullshit. If you're genuinely sexually harassing somebody or assaulting them, God forbid, you know what you're doing. Mm-hmm. And that also just makes it sound like men can't help but sexually harass women.
We can't. It's in our DNA.
And then it one makes it sound like you think all men are incapable of controlling themselves, and then two, it takes responsibility away from the guilty parties if it's happening.
Did she just doubled up, or did I hear that wrong?
She doubled up.
Okay.
Oh. Did it fix it?
I don't know. William Savage, thank you. Scribe Light, please make a primer advert for the upcoming Netflix Punisher series launching this Friday. Ooh, I can do that. A primer advert? Primer. What do you mean, like? Maybe that's slang that I don't understand, but I'll write it down anyway. I think you just mean like a prepping people for what it is, maybe. I'm looking forward to the Punisher thing.
You're right about taking away responsibility from those guilty, but going back to like the Louis C.K. thing. I think we've lost our fucking minds on what we're actually talking about here. What happened with Harvey Weinstein, that is, especially with his own admission of being a dirtbag by going to counseling for it. That's a separate issue from what happened with like Louis C.K. Because what Louis did was masturbate in front of women who told him it was okay to do so. And while that's creepy, that's not forcing himself. According to even his own admission of guilt, the power he had over these women was that they admired him. That's not the same as, in my mind, that's not the same as sexual harassment. It's just
it cheapens genuine assault and harassment.
It does. And when you look at like these cases on the Hill and stuff, I seriously wonder how many. I've worked with a lot of women in my life, and frankly, y'all can be dirty as fuck. I mean, you will say shit that'll make a man blush, and I'm not trying to shift blame or anything here. It's just true. And I just cannot believe that in all of this, there's not a single woman who has done this stuff. It's all the men, and I'm having trouble. I'm having trouble with the narrative right now. Let me say that.
Well, what's also like driving me nuts is like, amongst the Hollywood people, why are they all masturbating in front of people? Like, that just seems to be the thing to do if you're a famous person in Hollywood. And that's why I'm like, I don't know. It just seems like
I didn't
a
read
weird
the
way
article.
to approach people. What?
So I didn't read the article, but I think it was Slate who did an article about that. Why, or what's up with the masturbating?
Oh yeah, I think I saw that.
My guess has always been it's the closest you can get to a sexual encounter with somebody without actually touching them, and can't be called assault.
It's just so fucking weird to me, I guess. I don't know. Like, all of a sudden, that's just the thing to do. I'd be like, have you ever watched a guy masturbate? It's fucking weird.
No, I don't generally do that.
Weebo Jones says,
well, it's weird.
Weebo Jones says, can confirm women are dirty. Prime example. Yes, because Weebo poops her pants. Sorry, Weebo. You opened the door wide for that one. Don't know what to tell you. Yeah, I don't know. I don't understand. I mean, the thing that keeps confusing me is, okay, none of this was relevant a month ago. None of this was worthy of reporting a month ago. It's all just suddenly showing up out of nowhere. There's two explanations for that, possibly. One, everybody's feeling emboldened and less nervous about coming forward because of just how mainstreamed it is to come forward with this stuff now. And it's all real and it's all legit. And there's a bunch of creeps out there, which I can totally believe because there are creeps everywhere. It just seems so lopsided because, like Monkey says, women aren't somehow harps and halos on this kind of thing either, except that men react differently to it than women do.
Well, that's probably just the difference.
Yeah. But that makes men look more like villains just because they do stuff that probably women also do, but it just doesn't have the same effect because men don't take it as either creepy or an insult or something to protest necessarily or make an issue of.
Well, part of something being harassment or assault is whether or not both parties are into it happening. Mm-hmm. So if someone says, I'm going to bend you over the table, and it's like your husband that you're super in love with, you're going to be like, oh my God, yeah. But if it's like your creepy old, Harvey Weinstein, you're going to be like, fucking ill. So part of it, yeah, is that both parties have to be into it. And
are you saying that if a harasser was totally hot, that it wouldn't be a harassment?
Well, if both parties want it, then yeah, it's literally not harassment. That's how that works.
Yeah. But that's not how it should work.
Well,
the offense is taken, never given. So if someone...
Well, I think... Sorry.
Okay.
Well, typically the legal, as far as legality goes, is that if Harvey Weinstein, the first time he says he wants to bend you over, if you go ill, don't, maybe no, like, how about no? Let's go with no. And then he keeps doing it, then it's harassment.
Jordan 250, thank you. An ad about something that was somewhere and happened at some time to somebody, maybe. Thank you for that open-ended opportunity. I will see what I can do.
No, my point is either behavior is harassment or it's not, and it should not depend on whether or not he makes you weak in the knees. That is something that has bothered me about this since sexual harassment became a big thing back in, God, was that the 80s? When Anita Hill brought a new definition to sexual harassment to all of us.
Yeah.
Yeah, but at the same time, I mean, that's kind of how rape works too. Like, somebody fucking you is rape or not rape, depending on whether or not you're also a willing participant.
Well, yeah, kind of, yes, and I see what you're saying there, but when you're talking about it in the workplace, I mean, getting caught fucking in the workplace, whether you like the person or not, should get both of you fired. And if you're talking about somebody on Capitol Hill who's telling you dirty jokes, that's either right or not. This is what bothers me about sexual harassment.
I see your point.
Thank you.
Either it's the behavior or it's not.
Thank you, Chaos Eve. Hi, Scribe. I'd like an ad for dog food. No, really. That's it. Promise. Also, since I have space left to ask, will you guys be taking the night off for Thanksgiving next week? So far as I know, right now, I will be here for Thanksgiving night.
I will not. Oh, sorry.
But
I will. It depends on. I forget when we leave. I think we leave Monday, but I'll be gone pretty much all of Thanksgiving week because we don't come home till Saturday. That I know. Is Thanksgiving really fucking next week? Holy shit! Are you serious?
Already? Yep.
Okay, will you be here?
I should be here. Yes.
Okay.
That's
there should be a show next Thursday for those of you that don't have Thanksgiving plans. And so, like I say, so far as I know, I should be here. It has been the case in the past that Thanksgiving plans have sort of been dropped in my lap at the last minute. If so, I will try to give as much notice as I can. Let's see. That aside, Weibo has something very important to say because it's all in capital letters, which means it's been infused with testosterone. Scribe Light, you have no life. Find yourself a kinky woman you can do weird shit to with a turkey baster. Or sorry, bastard. That's awfully forward of you, Weibo. Also, kind of insulting. I have no life. Thank you.
There's nothing wrong with having no life.
I just spend my nights with everybody and speak my mind and take time out of my day to try to entertain people. I don't have a life. You're right, Weibo. I've wasted everything. I think there's a corner I can go sit in over there. Yeah.
You broke him, Weibo.
I have my fork too. Thank you, Skeptalk. Ad for a mouthwash that doubles as a douche.
Oh, gross.
Oh, God. All right. Well, I know I know exactly what to call it too. Oh, Lord, that's going to be bad. Write that down right now so I don't forget it.
Should call it doublemint.
No, I have something even worse. Okay, thank you, Skeptalk. I already have basically the ad written just by the title. Okay, so unless there's something else in the wide world of news to cover, I thought I'd jump on to MSS News.
No, let's jump over there.
Okay, so chat, if you have news stories you'd like us to read on the air, please send them to us via Twitter using the hashtag MSSNews. Can't promise we'll get to them all, but we will use as many as we can. And what do we got? Okay, Weboski Joneski sends us this one from our friends at The Washington Post, or the newspaper of record for the world, which just put up the paywall in front of me, so can I get around that? Maybe, let's see. Let's hear it for private windows. All right. Quote, who are they going to believe, you or me? Texas prosecutor fired after drunken Uber tirade. In what is probably Exhibit A for a one-star passenger rating, a Dallas district attorney was fired after she drunkenly insulted and threatened an Uber driver, then said police officers the driver summoned... Oh, I see. Then said police officers the driver summoned would believe her side of the story and fuck you up. In a flash, Jody Warner's intoxicated tirade, recorded by the driver and shared widely, made the Dallas prosecutor the latest example of someone with a very public job who was suddenly humbled after demeaning a blue-collar worker. Warner had worked for the Dallas County's district attorney's office for the past 6 years as a prosecutor in the Crimes Against Children unit. On Friday night, she was also an intoxicated fare who summoned an Uber for a ride home from a Dallas pub. Sean Platt, the 26-year-old driver who showed up, told ABC that the ride soured after Warner told him to quit using GPS to get her home and to follow her directions instead, then abruptly stopped giving them. They argued back and forth, he said, and he had enough when she started calling him names, including retard. He stopped the car, ended the ride on the app, and told her she needed to get out. She refused, repeatedly and belligerently. Quote, she kept saying she's an assistant DA and said, who are they going to believe, you or me? And I said, you know what? You're kind of right, Platt told ABC News. So I took out my phone and I recorded it. What followed was an exchange that would elicit a knowing nod from any Uber driver who's sworn off working Friday nights. Platt, I'm asking you politely, ma'am, please step out of the vehicle. Warner, no, because I'm pissed the fuck off. Either drop me off at my house or we'll wait for the cops because I'm not wrong. Platt, I'm waiting for the cops. Warner, then we'll wait for the cops. Jesus Christ, you're a fucking idiot in a stupid fucking hat. What a joke. Jesus Christ. I'll make sure Uber knows what a fucking joke you are. And on and on and on. It goes on for quite a long time. So
classy lady.
Yeah, so she lost her job, which is fine by me. Let's see.
People need to stop getting drunk and getting in Ubers because it just never works out.
Not really. Not really.
You would think it would be the ultimate designated driver, and instead it becomes the ultimate whipping boy who can record you doing it.
Let's see. First Cynic sends us this one. I saw this yesterday, I think. The New School invites Linda Sarsour to lead panel on anti-Semitism.
Yes.
Okay. Founded, this kind of goes into a history lesson. Founded in 1919 by progressive New York intellectuals, the New School rose to prominence 2 decades later when it took in a small band of Jewish intellectuals fleeing the Nazis. Eminences like Hannah Arendt, Leo Strauss, and Erich Fromm all benefited from the institution's commitment to taking in victims of the world's most ancient and persistent hatred and giving them a place to pursue their ideas in peace. How things change. Later this month, the university will co-sponsor a panel on anti-Semitism that will feature, among others, Linda Sarsour, who opined that, quote, nothing is creepier than Zionism, unquote, praised Nation of Islam's leader Louis Farrakhan, and believes one cannot support the right of Jews to a homeland of their own and still be a feminist. Alongside Sarsour will be Rebecca Vilkomerson, who heads the odious Jewish Voice for Peace. Don't know what that is. The group, as an ADL report aptly put it, uses its Jewish identity to shield the anti-Israel movement from allegations of anti-Semitism and to provide the movement with a veneer of legitimacy. It's a very short little article, but yeah, so Linda Sarsour will tell us all about anti-Semitism. Thank you, Point Curation. Ad for a movie about the pillaging of, like, the continent of Hawaii. The continent of Hawaii. Am I a Miss America pageant contestant or
He's
something?
quoting a Lyft incident.
Oh, right. That's
You remember
right,
that? When they like pillaged their continent of Hawaii.
That's right. Okay.
And then he's like, I'm Asian. And then she's like, what kind of Asian?
Right. Thank you, Point. And I have your first ad request, Point, ready to go when we get to a YouTube time. Anyway, so yeah, Linda Sarsour is a hero to us all, I guess. What's this? Okay.
I saw somebody real quick before you move on say, she would be the perfect person to talk about anti-Semitism, considering she's an anti-Semite.
Well, yeah, she might be. That her expertise on the subject matter might be useful to the new school. Let's see. This one comes from senior staff reporter and Florida correspondent Colleen Bernier. If it'll come up. St. Pete police employee fired after personal rifle, quote unquote, accidentally went off inside headquarters.
Nice.
Okay. St. Petersburg, Florida. Scott Hughes, a St. Petersburg police forensic technician, wasn't allowed to bring his personal Colt AR-15 semi-automatic rifle into headquarters. Nevertheless, the civilian employee did so for years, according to the department. Then on June 17th, and okay, this article is from today, okay. Then on June 17th, while Hughes cleared the gun of ammunition inside the forensic services office, police said a round was, quote unquote, accidentally fired. Well, wasn't it? Okay. The bullet flew out of the building at 1300 First Avenue North, shattering a window and crossing the street. No one was injured and no vehicles were damaged. Still, a disciplinary review board met Monday and decided Hughes violated 2 department general orders, 2 city rules, and a state law. St. Petersburg Police Chief Tony Holloway then fired Hughes, ending his 10-year career with the department. Quote, everyone needs a reminder once in a while, but it should be self-explanatory that you should not be bringing a weapon into a workplace, Holloway said, especially a weapon like that. It goes on for a bit, but that's the gist. So yeah, don't bring a gun to work, guys, unless you're, I
don't think there's necessarily anything wrong with bringing a gun to work, but don't do stupid shit with it at work.
Especially if you were told not to for 10 years.
Excuse me, and if it is against the rules, yes, absolutely don't bring a gun to work, but just bringing one to work in general, I don't think is a bad thing.
Another one from senior staff reporter Colleen Bernier. It's a werewolf story. Oh, it's a Florida man story, so it might be a werewolf story. Florida man high on meth climbs onto stranger's roof to howl, police say.
Nice.
And then an ad pops up. Okay. The Vero Beach father called Indian... they have a weird way of formatting their text. Let me start over. A family woke up earlier than planned on Veterans Day to find a man high on methamphetamine on its rooftop. News reports state, and now it's playing a video and blasting into my ears. God damn these websites. The Vero Beach father called Indian River Sheriff's deputies about 6 a.m. to report that he and his sons heard someone stomping on their roof, yelling and howling. When deputies arrived, they encountered 31-year-old Jacob Johnson Futch of Vero Beach told them that he was up there waiting to meet with an agent from the Drug Enforcement Administration. When asked if he was on any drugs, he admitted that he had taken meth. Futch was charged with trespassing and booked into the Indian River County Jail. His occupation in the jail log is listed as stock boy. He's one creepy looking stock boy. That's all I got to say about that. Let's see. Make sure I didn't miss any $2 or anything on there. Okay.
They didn't say why he was waiting for the folks.
Presumably to turn himself in, right?
Okay.
He's a good citizen like that.
Sure.
And a Jack Cochran possible deep topic article. I'll put that one aside. Okay. You know what? I'm probably going to do a deep topic potpourri selection because there's so many good ones here. Okay. Well, we'll end, since we're just about the end of MSS News Time, with I think a happy story, at least as far as I can tell. This comes from Peter Stewart. The right thing to do. Tim Hortons employees return forgotten $3,000 to customer. If Canadians are known around the world for being nice, the staff at a local Tim Hortons in Southern Ontario certainly lived up to that reputation when they returned $3,000 in forgotten cash to its rightful owner. Mohammed Kaursawa told CTV Windsor that he met up with a few of his friends on Thursday evening at his local Tim Hortons, located on Huron Church Road at Tecumseh Road in Windsor, Ontario. I don't know how to pronounce these things. Quote, "It was so warm, I took off my jacket," Kasaris explained on Monday. "I laid it down next to me on the chair. An hour and a half later, the group got up to leave, and Kasawa forgot his jacket on the seat. He didn't notice it was missing until 4 days later when his wife asked him for the keys to their car. Kasara replied that the keys were in his jacket pocket, which he thought was lying on a chair in the dining room. The jacket wasn't there. After a frantic search, Kasawa remembered that he had left it at the Tim Hortons. The jacket had remained on the chair in the restaurant chain for about 68 hours before a couple... 68 hours? No, there wasn't the cleanup crew between... Okay.
Before I wonder about the cleanliness of the restaurant.
Yeah, a little bit. 68 hours before a couple of night crew workers found it. Quote, "I looked through it looking for identification and saw the money and realized that I needed to keep it secure or else someone might try to take off with it." Obviously not after 68 hours, but anyway. Sitting inside the jacket's pocket were 2 envelopes containing a total of $3,000 in cash intended for Kasawa's son's education at Wayne State University in Detroit, Michigan. Might I suggest writing a check?
Why you got... Wait.
Yeah, that doesn't sound right at all.
2 envelopes of cash for college tuition.
Well, for his son's education,
for
whatever
son's
that
education.
means.
Well, yeah, but they said specifically at
Yes.
Wayne State. So
yes, at Wayne State.
Okay.
Let's see.
Green money. Bullshit.
Green said he and his coworkers kept the jacket and the envelopes in the restaurant's office and waited for a phone call. When Kasara contacted Green about his missing belongings, they arranged a meeting. Quote, "He came back and we made sure we returned what was rightfully his," Green said. "It's the right thing to do." An appreciative Kasara said he wanted to spread the word about the employees' kindness at that particular Tim Hortons location. Quote, "The staff is the best. They are very honest, but apparently not very clean." Kasara said he tried to meet with the night workers responsible for finding the jacket to give them a reward for their good deed, but they declined his offer and said they were happy to do it. Oh.
So wait a minute. This guy's keys were in his coat.
Yes, and so for 3 days or something.
How the fuck did he get home?
You got to ride with somebody? I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, but I mean, $3,000 cash for your son's education. I honestly open a checking account, dude.
If they had said in an envelope, I would understand that, because when I worked at Walmart, lots of people cash their check. They just shove it all into one little envelope that for some reason they keep, and then go about their day. But when you got multiple envelopes with $3,000 cash, that's no.
Jack Cochran says his son's education is code for escorts.
Yes.
Yeah. So 2 envelopes, $1,500 each or something. Yeah, that's a little.
How the fuck? Okay. One, why is that in your jacket pocket that you're going out drinking in?
Well, Tim Hortons is a donut shop. Let's be honest, coffee and donuts. Yeah.
So he goes out to eat. Okay, fair enough. I threw the drinking in because he forgot it. That's my bad. You got $3,000 in your coat. $3,000 is for your son's education, and you don't remember that you had it there for 4 fucking days.
Well, yeah, I mean, why would you have it in your pocket if you weren't immediately taking it to where you're going? You just leave it in your pocket for 4 days and don't think about it. That story doesn't quite wash. I mean, his reasons for having the money on him doesn't make any sense. But then, how do you get suspicious more so about $3,000? I don't know. But yeah, so good on the Tim Hortons guys for being honest. The guy's story on why he had the money on him and how he just kind of forgot about it for 3 days, if it was that vital to his son's education, etc., it doesn't make a lot of sense, but whatever.
He's lying. That's drug money.
Anyway, how about on to YouTube time?
Sure.
I'll do mine real quick because all I did today, YouTube-wise, I found some prospects to do a video on, so I'm looking at those, but I'll work on those in the next couple of days. But I did do one ad that Point Curation requested before the stream started. He asked for essentially a sequel to a couple days ago. He had asked for 2 ads of the same product, but 2 competing companies.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
It was Mrs. Johnson's oatmeal cookies versus Big Jim Johnson's oatmeal cookies. And the joke was that they used their ads to snipe at each other over their impending divorce.
Yes.
And so here's the sequel, and he wanted Big Jim's next ad. Take a big bite out of Big Jim Johnson's oatmeal cookies. Big flavor and big value are a hallmark of Big Jim's. That's why you get the most cookie for your dollar. And Big Jim's is proud to announce our all-new We Won the Divorce cookies. Made with 100% organic oats, pure cane molasses, and other natural ingredients seized by court order, you'll forget all about the competition, just like Big Jim has. So look for the photo of Big Jim and his new, younger, more beautiful wife on the package at your local grocer, and help Jim to celebrate freedom from domestic terrorism. Big Jim's oatmeal cookies, a man-sized cookie for a man-sized appetite.
Nice.
There you go. And then, guys, all the other ad requests I will be working on between today and tomorrow night. And hopefully I'll have them all done in time for YouTube time tomorrow. And I'm done. SDA, what'd you work on?
SDA.
Some dumb Alderanian. Okay, Monkey, what are you working on?
I'm going to do part 2 to the video that I did yesterday. But I was just going to do another straight response to respond to the other part of it, but I think I'm going a different way with it now.
Mm-hmm.
That a lot of the critics of that video have asked me, what does it matter? What does it matter? This is just some young girl on the internet saying stupid shit.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason it matters, guys, is that she has no shame in saying the stupid shit she said. And the reason she has no shame is because that's what's acceptable in society now. It's perfectly acceptable to argue that, no, you can't trust any man, that all men are shit. And again, this is something after the election, I heard, oh, we beat them. No, we haven't. This is still what is acceptable in society. And yeah, part of it's just for fun and to laugh at a moron. But it's also to point out that this is the shit that is acceptable.
How many subscribers did she have?
On that channel, she has 22,000. On her main channel, on her main channel, she has 214,000.
People, yeah, okay. Well, entertainment's where you find it, I guess. I was more annoyed with the editing. she would cut off syllables of her own sentences in the middle of talking about things. That annoyed me. Because I listen to things more than I watch them when I'm at work. So just trying to make out what she was saying and understand was tough enough.
Prospero, I thank you for bringing this up, Ranting Monkey, because booger dick should never be allowed to happen to the innocent dicks she may fall on. Booger dick has become one of the most popular things I've said on my channel, and I love you guys for loving it as much as I did. I laughed so hard when I thought of booger dick.
That's really funny.
Oh, there you are. What are you working on, SDA?
Oh, sorry. God damn it. What the fuck just happened to my brain? I'm so sorry. What am I working on? I'm making a video about that article about like you can't be friends with white people.
Okay.
Good one.
Yeah, that was something else.
Yeah. Just because it's, you know, like we said, it's so crazy that it's kind of all being flipped on its head. Where it's like you can't be friends with the black people because they do all the crime, and it's like you can't be friends with the white people now because X, Y, and Z. And it's insane. The way to solve racism is not by flipping it on its head and making more racism. So I'm doing that. I'm also probably going to be playing Overwatch with Clever Jester after this over on his channel.
Yeah, the thing about that article that still gets me is how the author reframed the "I have a dream" speech as a statement of cynicism and not of hope.
Right.
And then used that as his baseboard for saying that, you know, King was right. It's impossible. Like, oh, give me a fucking break, amongst other things in that article. But yeah, so well, have fun with that because, ugh.
Yeah, I'm sure Dr. Martin Luther King was speaking about, you know, equality and fighting for equality because he thought it would never happen. But
yeah,
makes all of the sense.
All right. I saw something that you had tweeted out, SDA, to a Monkey and I that I think constitutes as YouTube drama.
What?
What'd I miss?
You sent screenshots of some comments on your video or something.
Oh.
I don't know if that counts as YouTube drama.
Oh, I don't know. That's what I was asking. Is it YouTube drama because it's comments?
Monkey, do you want to talk about it? Do we want to address that? I don't mind addressing it.
I don't mind addressing it, but last night people got so mad.
I know people did get mad at us for that. I don't know why. I guess I'm kind of confused why people are mad in the first place. But
yeah, one of the comments on last night's stream, somebody suggested that our cynicism towards thinking doctors might be changing the blood pressure normalcy might have something to do with pharmaceutical companies. They said that made us sound like anti-vaxxers. Here's the thing.
This must have happened before I showed up because I don't remember being there for that part.
Yeah, we talked about that before you got there, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. Here's the thing. I don't necessarily think there's some grand conspiracy of heart doctors and big pharma working together to get more people on heart medicine. That's not what I'm talking about here. If you look at the opioid epidemic right now, it didn't come about because big pharma was pushing opiates on everybody. It's because doctors genuinely wanted to help their patients. They wanted to help get them out of pain, and opiates do that. The problem is they're highly fucking addictive. So it's not like doctors were paid by big pharma to push these drugs. They were trying to help.
Right.
I have no doubt these doctors want to help. But I also think that there might be a medicine out there that's going to be coming on the market to help with what would it be? Pre-hypertension? Which how the fuck is that even a thing? Pre-hypertension.
Well, I think that's just it, right? Another thing that you have to remember about the US is that whether you like it or not, and I'm not saying this is a good or a bad thing, either way, but the US is the medical system in the United States is a lot more commercial based than in any other country. I mean, we have Viagra commercials, we've got commercials for all sorts of drugs constantly. If you watch TV, I know you've seen them. So I don't think it's unreasonable for us to be like, maybe. I mean, maybe the pharmaceutical companies do play a role in this. Maybe they don't. Either way, you know, go see your doctor. Make sure you're healthy. If you have slightly high blood pressure, do what you can to get it down. Like, I mean, we're not saying like, oh, just if somebody tells you have high blood pressure, just ignore them and fuck off. I'm just, it's just, this is going to be a lot more people on drugs if doctors are treating it. That's all we're saying.
Okay.
Yeah. So for anybody who was confused by our comments, that's all it was. We are in no way saying ignore your doctor. I do question what would make them change this especially when they're even saying that it's pre-hypertensive, and they're claiming that only a small number of people would have to go on drugs at this point. Well, if they didn't need the drugs before, they shouldn't need the drugs now. That's all I'm saying. I mean, come on. There's got to be a little drug interaction here. Come on. You know it's true. Anyway, yeah, but it's not anti-vaxxer. I'm not saying don't listen to your doctor the way fucking anti-vaxxers do, but that's all.
Thank you, Eric. An ad for post-hypertension pills with mind control side effects. Okay.
Make the mind control side effects taste like butter.
Okay. I can't believe it's not mind control. Actually, I can't believe it's not MK Ultra. There we go.
But I got the joke.
Thank you, Eric.
I got the joke.
Okay. So top of the hour, deep topic. This one was sent to us by Jack Cochran earlier today. And I don't know if there's any spoilers in this. So for those of you that are worried about Thor Ragnarok spoilers,
such a good movie.
Just be aware. The title of it is, if I don't lose my voice here, is Thor Ragnarok a subversive takedown of white supremacy?
What?
This comes from a site called The Establishment, which I've never heard of before. Let me get down to the actual. It's one of those things where they have a gigantic picture of the movie logo and then they get to the text.
Oh, yeah.
If the plot of the new Thor movie sounds familiar, perhaps it's because you know the history of colonialism. Okay, before I go any further, chat, there are spoilers in this. They even say at the top of the article, spoilers. If you don't want me to read this because of spoilers, let me know in the chat now with ones. Put ones in there if it's a no, you don't want me to read it. Because I don't want to spoil it for anybody. Because I understand there are a lot of nerds in here and we all love our Marvel movies. And if you haven't seen it yet, so if I see a lot of ones,
one is to skip this article, guys.
Yeah, one is to skip this. I got a 1, I got a 1, I got a 1, 1, 1, 1. I got 2. I got
My
2.
chat is frozen. What the hell?
Okay, so I got Uzi Q, Faith, Bloodwing, Hauser, Ace. Okay, I see a lot of people. Okay, guys. So I won't read this. I just read that one, the title.
How about throw it into chat and then people who want to see it can read it?
Okay. So the link is now in the chat. For those of you that don't care about spoilers, go ahead there. It is out there. I'll set it aside on the off chance we read it maybe next week or something to fill time. But I just want to put that out there. Okay, so for potpourri, you guys can decide which shall I read first and which might take up the rest of the time. Okay. We have, and here's the headlines. I won't tell you where they're from. I'll just give you the headlines. Headline number 1. Yes, non-binary people experience gender dysphoria too. Or new app helps consumers find Black-owned businesses.
Ooh.
Which do you prefer?
Give me some gender dysphoria.
All right. Sorry, guys. Apparently my throat is deciding to take a vacation from me tonight, so I'll do my best here not to lose my voice. Oh, well, that's an interesting connection. So this is coming from Everyday Feminism. However, oddly enough, and I didn't know this until I just scrolled down, quote, this article was originally published in The Establishment and was republished here with permission. So I'm going to have to pay attention to The Establishment because I've never heard of it before, but apparently it's right up there with The Root and everything else. All right, here we go. Into the article. You're not trans, you're just a trans trender. If non-binary people had a nickel every time, how about 4 every time? The Establishment. How about 4 every time? But I will read it as you've written it. If non-binary people had a nickel every time we heard this, we'd be rich enough to hop a rocket and start our own space colony on Mars. But alas, we're stuck here on Earth, constantly explaining to everyone what it's like to not identify with the gender binary. Somehow, I have a feeling you bring that up first.
Yeah, when you make shit up, people are going to question you about it.
Because I don't... maybe I'm just living in a bubble, but it's really difficult for me to imagine on a regular day someone walking up to somebody and asking them, what gender do you identify as? Unless you're like in San Francisco or something. It is as a part of normal conversation. You know, it's like,
Yeah.
and then I have to explain myself to the person. Like, anyway, quote, sorry, not quote, but the trans-trender argument is rooted in the belief that since non-binary people aren't transitioning to the opposite biological sex, we must not experience gender dysphoria, defined as a conflict between a person's physical or assigned gender and the gender with which he, she, they identify. Therefore, we're just co-opting trans language to be hip and cool.
No, that is not what gender dysphoria is.
Mm-hmm.
It is not with the gender I most closely identify. It's when you are a man and there's something wrong with your brain that tells you you're a woman, that you would feel better as a woman. It's not, I really like wearing this boy shirt because it makes me seem interesting and people ask me questions. No, I fucking hate people. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay. Let's see. Now the next sentence kind of leads from the first, so I'll start from the end of that. Therefore, we're just co-opting trans language to be hip and cool. This, in a word, bullshit. How about is bullshit the establishment? And while I expect it from those who are cis, it especially hurts coming from trans people. Certainly, I understand the need to keep the "this isn't just a feeling" narrative alive. Transphobes, after all, love to say things like, well, I feel like a tree, so does that make me a tree? That is a legit analogy.
No, well, it's not just I feel like a tree. It's just because somebody says they feel like a tree doesn't mean they are, even if they actually fucking believe it. They are taking all of these arguments and changing them around. Sorry, keep going.
Despite the number of studies that suggest a scientific basis for gender identity. That was leading.
Fuck you.
Go ahead. Say your piece.
No, there is no. Most of the things they point to like this are like brain scans that show trans people have brains that are very similar to the sex they identify with. What this leaves out of the equation is that we know for a fact your brain changes based on how you use it. So there's no reason to believe that if you run around acting girly, your brain wouldn't change to reflect that, for fuck's sake.
Thank you, your boy Pat. Backhand that like button up to 100 likes. And an ad for your boy Pat bodyguard service. Oh boy. Oh boy. Thank you, Pat.
Oh God, Captain Brambles. If you identify as a tree, does that make you a transplant?
Oh.
Well done. Well done indeed.
Pun of the night. Lord of the night, pun of the night.
There you go.
Okay.
Certainly. I was just about to say that pun of the night. I like it. Sorry.
That's okay. Certainly, I understand the need to keep the. Oh, sorry. I already read that. Let me get back. But why can't binary trans people understand that, just as they don't identify with the gender they were assigned at birth? Some people don't identify with man or woman. Interestingly enough, the DSM-5 describes gender dysphoria in a way that includes non-binary people. Under the list of symptoms, the DSM-5 lists strongly identifying as, wanting to be treated as, and having the same feelings as either the opposite sex, quote, or some alternative gender different from one's assigned gender, unquote.
That is an updated definition that they did under political pressure because fucking trans trenders wanted their. Oh God, I fucking hate people.
Well, that pretty much describes me, says the author, not Scribe. I'm not just an androgynous man. My entire sense of self and my experiences do not align with my assigned gender. When I was a child... Sorry.
Nobody's assigned a gender.
I don't know.
Doctors look at their genitals and go, "This is a boy" or "This is a girl."
When I was a child and socialized with girls, I felt like I was one of them. As far as my body goes, it's complicated. I'm fine with my chest and genitals, but my body hair feels like a foreign object that's infesting my body.
Wash it.
Now, shave yourself. I don't know. After talking to several of my non-binary friends, I found they experience similar forms of dysphoria. Dysphoria, okay, where they are comfortable with some parts of their body, but not others. Welcome to growing up. I don't like my ugly feet. I don't like my big nose. I don't like my man hand, says SDA. I don't know. People don't like different parts of their body. It's a natural part of growing up or being human. It doesn't make you dysphoric.
I just love that he's using Ash Hardell's hair dysphoria.
Oh, Lord. Could it be that this is the case for many, if not all, non-binary people? I don't know. I'm not a mind reader. Obviously, you are. There was only one way to find out. The scientific method. Oh, okay. And what was... I can't wait. All right. Before I read the next paragraph, what do you think what do you think their scientific method was in trying to find this out? What do you think their...
Survey. A survey. It definitely...
Yeah,
okay. Survey where?
Oh.
I'm assuming a Twitter poll.
Tumblr.
Tumblr? Okay. I say Twitter, you say Tumblr, SDA?
Twitblr.
Okay. All right. Let me say, and next says, okay. I sent out a call on both my Facebook page and a private Facebook group asking for non-binary people to participate in an 8-question survey.
That is totally scientific.
Can you guess how many people responded to this call of theirs?
I'm going to go with
10.
14.
SDA gets it in 1.
Wow.
10,
Nice.
10 people responded, so
Yes.
I private messaged them the questions. Within a week, I got all the results back. And it turns out I was right. Non-binary people do have unique experiences with dysphoria. I love to count. One non-binary, two. 10 people responded, saying, anyway. According to medical experts and accounts from the trans community, most trans people start experiencing dysphoria around puberty, and the same seems to be true for non-binary people as well.
Wait. I thought they knew from like the time they were 5.
Yeah, I don't know. Quote, I figured something was off at age 10, says Kay, but I wasn't cemented until someone called me a man around 3 years ago, and I involuntarily cringed.
What?
I don't know. Quote, I always...
One cringe to change your life.
Yeah, one... Yeah, Jesus. Quote, I always knew I was not like other girls, adds Nassim, but I didn't start experiencing dysphoria until I hit puberty, which began around age 9. By 11, when I started my period, I had 100% developed dysphoria. By 11, you understood this. Okay. By 14, when I started high school, I was already saying that I should have been born a boy, calling myself a gay man in a woman's body. A gay man in a woman's body. Okay. For some, puberty was when they first began feeling that neither boy nor girl really fit. Amy says, quote, I didn't feel like I fit in with girls or women from the time I was maybe 8 or 9, but I didn't fit in with boys either. I didn't know being gender fluid was a thing until I was in my late 30s. It explained a whole lot.
Yeah.
My brain's starting to hurt from reading this. It's all just anecdotal stuff at this point from the whole... I think they put it...
No. That was science.
Oh, sorry, science. Thank you, Pat. If Blair White and Theron did the Dragon Ball Z fusion, would that make it a transfusion? Okay,
Yes.
I need some outside opinion. Okay, transplant or transfusion? Which is the pun of the night?
Transplant. I'm sorry,
like
Pat. I love
transfusion,
you, but
transplant.
Yeah, transplant is. I'm sorry, Pat. I'm sorry. You missed this one by just a hair. A non-binary hair.
Plus, that was directly related to the article because they used the tree analogy thing. So I got to give it to the transplant.
Now, obviously, in the remaining 45 minutes of the stream, it is possible that someone else in a different context comes up with an even better pun. But right now, transplant is the pun of the night. Okay, so we'll see. This might be a new category for us because given how jokey our chat gets, pun of the night might be an award, a non-monetary award, I should say. No ribbon or nothing that someone in the chat could win on any particular night.
I like it. I think it should be. I think it should be a regular part of the show. Yeah.
Okay. Pun of the night.
Pun of the night.
All right. So keep track, everybody. We have. Should we do like some kind of vote or something at the end, like chat votes on which one they like the most?
No, we get to decide.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll maintain it. So right now, the contenders, and it's possible that something else comes up. The contenders are transplant and transfusion. Right now, transplant is in the lead. If someone else can come up with a on point in the discussion type pun, who knows? You too could be the unofficial winner. Okay, I don't really want to read any more of that because it just goes into more anecdotes and excerpts and things of people saying that, oh, when I was 12, this happened, and I looked down at my wee-wee and I didn't think I had a wee-wee or something. So
I'm confused by the trans knowing when they were in puberty. I thought the whole thing was that they tell us they always knew. They always knew.
I don't know.
Did I miss something?
I would not claim to know how it operates because I don't experience that issue.
I'm just confused.
Oh, Eric, the author seems to be on a transmission.
Cute, but I'm still with transplant.
Cute, yeah, I'm still with transplant too. Cute though, you know what? E for effort.
E for Eric. All right, well, let me give you guys an opportunity to come up with an even new or different set of puns. I'll do the other deep topic one here that I got holding up. And this comes from accessatlanta.com, from the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. So SDA's backyard. New app helps consumers find Black-owned businesses. Dr. Dion Mahaffey remembers a story her father, a jeweler, once told her about a friend who often went miles out of his way to shop at a grocery store that catered to the Asian community. There were large grocery chains much closer to home, but it didn't matter. What mattered to her father's friend, who was Korean, was helping Asian business owners. Taking a cue from that story, Mahaffey developed a mobile app called Where You Came From. WHEREU, capital U as part of the first word, came from. The app, which even has its own nickname, Where You, that's not a nickname, that's the first quote-unquote word of the title, helps users locate and refer Black-owned businesses across the United States. Mahaffey has an estimated 70,000 businesses on the app. Quote, over the last 30 years, I made it my business to seek out businesses and services across the African diaspora. The African diaspora. Sure. There could be a Black-owned business by a Jamaican.
What about an Egyptian?
Yeah, anyway.
They're African.
It's true. Let's see. The African diaspora, says Mahaffey, 46, who lives in Sandy Springs but runs her business on Auburn Avenue, once the heartbeat of Atlanta's Black business community. Her father's story was, quote, a life-changing moment. It showed me that community does not just mean where you live. For us as a minority, it means where your people are. And Mahaffey, a graduate of Auburn University, wants to bring Black consumers to the doors of the estimated 2 million or so Black-owned businesses. What if there was an app for, like, white-owned businesses?
Oh, that could never work.
Why couldn't that work?
That'd be racist.
Oh, you know what? You're right. You're right. Discriminating on where you're going to put your money based on race. Yeah, I guess. So far, the free app, which she launched in February, has about 30,000 downloads. 30,000. Okay. Who said Mahaffey, who plans to make some updates soon and develop a website which will provide extended features and service beyond the app itself. Blah, blah, blah,
Just
blah.
to add to that.
Mahaffey, a business psychologist. What happened?
How do you add features to that?
I don't know. Extended features?
Will you like break it down by who has cornrows?
Or maybe a rating system, or like a referral thing, or like you can add reviews, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, a black-owned business locator with reviews in the South. I just don't think that would be a good idea.
Mahaffey, a business psychologist. I don't think I've ever heard the term business psychologist before. Maybe that's just my ignorance speaking. Author and entrepreneur said businesses get a basic listing at no cost. Other services will be revenue generating, including coaching services and the extended listings on the website. Okay, next on her list is markets in Canada, France, and the United Kingdom. One of the businesses that can be found on the app is what?
I coughed. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. I thought it was like a bird was dying or something. One of the businesses that can be found on the app is Julian's Cosmetics and Skincare on Town Boulevard in Brookhaven. Owner Julian Reynolds opened the store about 4 years ago. Lately, he's noticed a bump in traffic, which may be due in part to inclusion on the app. Maybe.
So, this sounds exploitative to me.
It sounds like skin color is important over what what.
Well, see, that's what you hear. What I hear is I'm going to make money off black people who put their business on this site.
Yeah, that's it too. Yeah, I mean, it's a niche market, I guess. I mean, I don't think race sells, I suppose.
In and of itself, I really don't have a problem with the app. I mean, if somebody, but I wouldn't have a problem with the Chinese, a white one, or any other. I know it wouldn't be accepted in society, but I don't have a general problem with it. My problem is that she's painting this as she's doing something for the community, and then she throws in, yeah, we're going to let them have a basic listing, but if you want to get, featured, you're going to have to give me some money.
Right.
That's not helping your community. Just be honest about it. I mean, there's nothing wrong with making money off of it, but be honest. Put that up front. Sorry, go ahead.
Prospero says, Scribe Light, it's a noir market. Oh.
Nice.
Close. That, man, I don't know. That's close. That could almost, in my book, be transplant. I suppose we'll have to vote at the end of the night. Well, let's see. We're close enough to the bottom of the hour. Chat, it's your time. If you have questions, comments, complaints, whatever's you'd like to throw at us, put them in there now. We'll go to the top of the hour. Be sure to put plenty of question marks there so we know it's a question for us and not something you're responding to somebody in the chat about. That's how we can visually tell and not get confused because,
Piss Geologist says, right or wrong, it's still racist. Yeah, it is still racist.
But it's legal, so I don't care. I mean, it's cynical as hell, but then business is business, I guess. So
it is for me, Romulan. A free market, let people do what they want. I like I said, I wouldn't have a problem with it if it was any that wanted to do it.
Mr. Baker asks, who is Florida man's arch enemy? Usually Florida woman. They're usually trying to kill each other.
Are you roboting or am I just breaking up again? Guys, let us know because we can't tell just the two of us.
I didn't hear roboting.
Okay, so it's me. I'm going to refresh again.
Okay.
God damn it.
Okay. Nothing for you here says, if I write down my mistakes, would it be a transcript? Literally, yes, but that's not related to the article in a punny way. Sorry, nothing for you. Nice try. Just putting trans in front of a word or using a trans word. No, sorry, you're gonna have to. Let's see. Jack Cochran says, "Can we make an app that tells us where a Florida man has done something dumb, or would it just highlight the whole state?" Yes. Yes, the app would just have the state of Florida highlighted, and that would be it. It's like, oh, you know what? I'm gonna give away an idea that obviously somebody's probably gonna steal from me, which is fine. I came up with an app idea a long time ago, where I would go to let's say Florida, for example, because there's a lot of serial killer activity down in Florida. I would map out every spot where a body was left by a serial killer, along with like a little blurb about who it was and the state of the body and when it was found, all that kind of stuff. So you could go on driving tours of where serial killers had left their victims.
That's creepy.
And I would call the app Dump Site.
Oh, wow. Can you hear me?
Yes. Can you? Am I roboting now?
Okay. No, you're not. It's something on my end because I had to refresh again because I was still getting it. But yeah, you're breaking up a little to me. I don't think they're hearing it.
Oh, okay. Anyway, that was always something I thought I'd do because I thought it'd be interesting if you actually plotted out the points of where bodies were dumped in certain places and everything, and then ran like some kind of algorithm or whatever. Maybe you could pull something useful from that information in a law enforcement capacity, but it'd be a lot of work. Scribe Light, can you be Lord of English Major or Lord of Ads? Question mark, says Lucky7. I could. I don't want to toot my own horn or nothing because God knows I'm not the Lord of English Major because, you know, these guys keep pointing out when I use whom or who incorrectly, which is always, you know. I mean, I have an English major, but I wouldn't call myself an English expert. Let's put it that way.
What would happen if Sean King tried to get on the app?
Oh,
ooh, that's a good one. I don't know.
What would happen if a white person showed up and said, "I found you on the app"? I say, "Thank you for your money," probably.
Oh yeah.
Eric says, Scribe, how does it make money though? $1.99 download and ads. Well, it's a free app, so I assume the businesses would have to pay to have their businesses listed, you know, in something other than just a name. Academic Cubs says, Scribe, is your Mecca the body farm? Ew, no. That place stinks. Bloodwing says, Scribe, you could call that app Anybody Can Do It. Oh,
yeah, nice.
Oh. Pat says, I'm the Lord of the Abs. That is
he is.
True. Yeah, you are. Scribe
and the delts and the
Scribe, when would you use the phrase "whom's the fuck"? Says Weebo Jones. Well, I guess I would say, whom's the fuck is it that fills her pants with hot dogs?
God, this is just breaking up so bad.
Okay, SDA, can you hear either of us unclearly? Because I can't tell if I'm breaking up. SDA?
Everything's fine for me.
Okay. Thank you, Attack Alpaca. Did you guys see the video where the woman goes into a Taco Bell, thinks it's a Burger King, and complains because they won't give her French fries? It came out last week. It sounds vaguely familiar. I don't remember. I mean, I remember the two ladies that climbed into the drive-through window to beat somebody up because they didn't give them their presumably correct number of chicken McNuggets. Thank you, Romulan64. Cereal is soup. Deal with it. All right. Skeptalk says you missed Jesse Jess's pun. Uh-oh. Lord of Sass I am. Oh, sorry, Lord of Sassamai. Sassamai? Sassamai. I don't
trying
get it.
to be.
I don't get it. You're trying to be what?
I'm trying to be productive here, and I'm sorry. I can barely hear what's being said because on my end you're breaking up. I know nobody else hears it. It's obviously my end. So
okay.
I don't get that either. I'm confused.
Yeah, sorry, Jesse.
I'm going to close everything down. I'll be back.
Okay. Let's see. What else do we get? Let's see. Jack Cochran says, Scribe Light Weebo can't fill her pants with hot dogs. She's a midget, so it would be Vienna sausages. Har, har. And everybody's hearing us fine on the chat, apparently. It's just that Monkey's having problems for some reason. I think he needs to check his headphones more than anything else. Eric says, did you guys see the follow-up dramas with Jacqueline Glenn and Social Repose? Fucker put out an anthology of the 4 music videos Jacqueline is in and tagged her and also put her in the thumbnail.
Well, that's kind of weird.
I didn't see any of that. My only foray into the Jacqueline Glenn situation was her explaining video, which somebody tweeted me, I think, and that's it. I don't know much about Jacqueline Glenn. Like my entire knowledge of Jacqueline Glenn, aside from some, intermediate dramas and things, comes just from that one video about her in a relationship. I didn't even know she was. I mean, I knew nothing about her relationship status until that video. So, Jack Cochran sends the video of the Taco Bell lady is in the chat. So anybody who wants to watch Taco Bell lady, there you go. Taco Bell lady was hilarious, says Make Europe Strong Again. What else? Chatmort says Vienna sausages are the best. Well, okay, real Vienna sausages, not in the context we were talking about falling into Weebo's pants, but sure. Let's see, Make Europe Strong Again. If Scribe is on the app, would he be Scribe Dark? No. I have non-author Dark. That is my other channel. That is the reverse mirror universe version of Scribe Light. Let's see. Your boy Pat says, what do you call Jacqueline Glenn with red hair? Red skeleton. Oh, mean. Mr. Baker says, Scribe Light, if an asshole tongue butters a turtle cave, is it cannibalism? If your asshole has a tongue, you have other problems. Scribe Light, for your ad, Nalosa Falea, long black being, monstrous giant of the Choctaw. Okay, so it's like a Native American myth or something? I'll look it up. Don't worry, this is why it's a research ad. I got to look it up. Eric says, Scribe Light, why isn't it Dark Reader? Well, because I had to come up with an antithesis for scribe, and the only word that sounded cooler than something like that was something. It was a word. Apparently, it's a real word called non-author, like just one word, non-author. And I was like, oh, that sounds non-author dark. That sounds kind of cool. So I used that.
I think you should have went with illiterate.
Illiterate dark, yeah. Scott McGinnis, Scribe Light, will you come on the Minions tonight or on the weekend? As far as I know, I am planning on coming on Friday night because I don't have to worry about being up early for work. So that's the plan right now. I'll come on for a little bit after the stream on Friday. Jesse just says, Scribe, it was this. If a farmer is male to female, is he a trans farmer? Nope, that doesn't work. Sorry, Jesse, because there's no word called.
It was cute. It's a play on Transformer.
Yeah, it is. It is. But let's see.
Yeah, I'm sorry. My internet has been shit the last 2 days. It seems better right now, so we'll see how it goes.
Let's see. Academic Cub. Oh, that's well. He's saying to Mr. Baker, if your asshole has a tongue, that is one long ass clit. Oh,
nice.
Good one. That I'll tell you what. That's that's second in the running for against transplant. That was a good pun. Let's see. Now everybody's trying to.
That was not a pun.
Long ass clit. If your asshole has a tongue, that is one long ass.
That's still not
clit.
a pun.
Well, what would you call it then?
Are we gonna fight over what's puns?
I would call it like a joke, but not a pun.
Play on words. Okay.
No. No. It actually has to be a pun.
I thought it was a clever use of double meanings of language, but okay.
Does not make it
a pun. So. Let's see. Oh, Scribe Light checked Twitter. Sanguine had me send you a message. Okay. Oh, small batch orphans are orphans made in small batches. The only way you can dead parents. That doesn't clear anything up, guys. I don't know what that means. I'll have to look it up because orphans made in small batches. So like if you have triplets and you kill their parents, then you have a small batch of orphans, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm at a loss on that one.
I'm confused, guys. If you have, I mean, if it's a term that I can look up, I'll look it up. But if there's some special meaning to this, then I'm lost. Sanguine says yes. Okay, so okay, a small batch orphans. Okay, I'll do my best. I will do my best. Some dumb American, can you name one flaw about Monkey and Scribe? Just one? How much time do we have? Go ahead, SDA.
Both equally. All right, bye.
Okay.
No comment. So, yeah.
Questions, guys? We got like 25 minutes left. Anything you want to talk about? Anything about the articles, previous or otherwise? Let's see if anything else is broken news in the wonderful world in the last few minutes. I'm still talking about the shooting at the school. What else? Yeah, they got the Australian vote. They don't celebrate it yet. It hasn't actually. Well, wait, they're saying Australia votes yes to say. So do they vote?
I don't think it's an actual vote. I think it's the thing.
CNN is.
It was the poll.
Okay, hold on. Celebrations broke out across Australia after a 2-month national postal survey. Yeah, okay, they didn't vote. CNN, that wasn't a vote. I mean, admittedly, maybe the vote will follow the poll. That's entirely possible, but it hasn't been voted on yet. It's not official. That's good job, CNN. Yeah, exactly. Faith is abdication. Not a vote, just a poll. Yes, they voted in the poll, if you want to call it like that, but that's misleading, CNN. Skeptox says, poll amongst the three of you. Roy Moore, creepy or not? I don't know anything about the guy. I don't know.
I find it weird that we're just now hearing all of this, especially, I mean, his name was big in the news for quite some time. It's not like he's a complete unknown. So he may be a fucking creeper, but I can't say that based on what we've heard so far.
Same.
Yeah, and you know what? It doesn't. He's not representing me. I don't care one way or the other, and he hasn't actually been elected to anything yet. So, you know, or I should say, he hasn't been elected to office yet, a political office, even though he was a judge. So, Le Plemore, I don't know how to say that. Are you guys following the Kraut and Tea unraveling? What happened with Kraut and Tea?
There's a lot of people who think he's completely destroying himself because of the alt-right stuff he's doing.
Okay.
His first two videos on it were, let's say, questionable.
Okay.
His third video, I can't say if it was questionable or not because it bored me to tears and I couldn't finish watching it.
I haven't watched a Kraut video in a long time. There's working on my own stuff and having this gig every night, I kind of have stayed away from not all other content creators because I don't want to get my mind made up by watching somebody else's opinions on something that I may do a talk on or something. And just the amount of extra free time I have has been winnowed down a bit lately for other things. So I like Kraut and stopped watching because I stopped liking him or something. I just haven't had a notion to lately.
Well, there was I think I talked about it on here. There was the problem with the skeptic community stream. Our audience talked to us about it and I watched it later.
Okay.
This started off, I forget the name of the guy's channel. It's a very small channel, but he had on Coach Red Pill, Aiden Paladin, Andy Worski, and a couple of other people I've never heard of. And their contention, not Andy, all of the other people, was that the skeptic community is having a problem because they are not really equipped to go after the alt-right, and they're going after the alt-right just because they need something to attack. And I'm paraphrasing here, but that's the gist of it. And both Aiden Paladin and Coach Red Pill are just adamant that you can't argue with the alt-right because they are just so smart, which is fucking retarded. But they base their problems with the skeptic community and this push they see on V, Crown T, and fuck, who was the other one? Shit, I don't remember. So there's a lot of people who think Crowd is imploding. Crowd's doing just fine still for himself. I think he'd be better off letting it go because the alt-right's fucking irrelevant, and there's no reason to argue with them. I mean, it's not that they're so smart; it's just they're fucking irrelevant. So,
yeah, as far as like smarts goes, I've done videos on people with PhDs and master's degrees and everything else, and I won't deny it. They are intelligent people. The things they say sometimes are just Looney Tunes. It doesn't matter how quote unquote smart you are. You can still have a problem with what somebody says or an idea they're putting out there. So, I mean, being afraid of a smart person? Well, I'd be afraid of trying to go one-on-one in a debate with Christopher Hitchens.
Oh, God damn it.
Regardless of what it is. But with a smart person in general, are you hearing us all? Check your headphones, dude. Sure it's not your headphones?
No, it's roboting. It's jumping in spaces, and no, it's this. Fuck.
Okay, well, we don't hear you. You sound fine, so.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I just don't want to step over you guys as I'm talking, though.
That would be such a rare event.
Well, there's one part in that stream where Coach Red Pill actually compares how great the alt-right is at arguing with vegan gains. And he says, just like vegan gains, they've had to hone their arguments so that they're on the right page. And he is right, but in the wrong way. Because what vegan gains does is uses arguments that sound logical until you actually look at what he's saying. Are we still good? Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes, we hear you fine, even if you don't hear us.
I'm gonna run
okay.
the rest of them real quick, guys. I'll be right back.
That's cool. Anyway, taking vegan gains as, say, his alien argument, for example. It always goes, if aliens came to Earth and they killed you for food, would you be upset by it? And as a human, you might go, yeah, I would hate people. I would hate aliens coming and using us for food. But in that example, the people that might have a moral objection that would matter would be the aliens, become the cows. So he would have to look at it from the aliens' point of view, and in that case, it would matter, or it would be, if you were the alien, would you have a problem with it? So what he does, he's taken arguments that make no goddamn sense, and he presents them in a way that sounds like they make sense. And it's the same thing that the alt-right does. And in that respect, Coach Red Pill is right. They've taken arguments, because like one of the things they brought up in the stream and the alt-right always, you can't argue with the facts. And Aiden Paladin goes, we have to talk about these uncomfortable facts. They're not facts that are important to jack shit. There are all kinds of uncomfortable facts in the world. It doesn't mean they're necessarily relevant to any point that's going on. So it's such a shit show. But to bring back to Kraut, I think Kraut has made some mistakes with his alt-right thing. He's trying way too hard to be intellectual about it. And the way you deal with them is to either just flat out make fun of them or ignore them.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Prospero says, oh, he's talking to Zenith. And what did Zenith say? I don't know. I lost it. Okay, Zenith says, it's not that the alt-right is so smart. It's that for whatever reason, their opponents abandon all logic and goes for emotion. And Prospero says
no, that's partially true. But again, if you want to piss off an alt-righter, or just wait till they bring up race realism and simply ask them, so what? Because it fucking blows their minds. They have no way to answer that question, and they go, "Oh, you're talking about you're pulling emotion. That's not emotion. That's asking you. Okay, let's say all of your important, uncomfortable facts are true. So what? What is your? And I'm not using this accidentally. What is your final solution?
Oh.
Because that's what's important. When they bring this shit up, that's what's important. What is your point?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, but I didn't really want to get off on race realism. I'm sorry about that. Let's see. What else do we have tonight, guys? You can use that with SJWs too, says Weibo. Yeah, you can. And it confuses the shit out of them. But at least SJWs are getting more open about it. You know, ban all men. Did you see the stuff about Bill Clinton going on right now?
No. What's new about Bill?
Nothing is new about Bill. The reaction to Bill is catching up to what he's done, or at least been accused of.
Oh, okay.
There's been several stories lately, and there was one in the New York Times, I think it was, that Ben Shapiro tweeted out earlier today. Some New York Times article or art writer basically came out and said, I ignored what Bill did because of his politics. And they're like, are you fucking kidding me? But yeah, he's getting a lot of shit now for the stuff he should have got a lot of shit for back in the day.
Thank you, William Savage. Loser brand suicide bullets, real bullet casings filled with Jell-O, and the charge being weaker than a child's cap gun. No black powder at all. Okay. I mean, you've basically written the ad for me there, but I will do my best. Thank you, William.
Faith is abdication of reason. Are you asking me that? So if you can't talk about certain facts, how can you hope to address them? I don't think certain facts need addressed. And there's all kinds of facts that exist in this world that we don't. I mean, you can talk about them if you want to, but there's nothing that needs done about them.
Like flat earthers and stuff. I mean, you can talk about it, but you're not going to get anywhere. You'll just be running around in circles. Well
played. But if you're talking about like the race realism thing, because this is the one that they always have to bring up, and that is the uncomfortable fact. No matter what they tell you, that's the one that always comes up. And it's all based on the idea that blacks have a lower IQ than anybody else, basically, any other racial group. And okay, let's say it's true. So that's why I say, so what?
What's the end result? Yeah. What is the next step? Let's assume that is absolutely and positively true. So then what?
Yeah, exactly. And that's where their argument falls apart.
Yeah. Stipulate to it. Just say, okay, for the sake of argument, you're right. Then what happens? What do you do next? What legislation do you pass? What actions do you take?
Faith is abdication of reason says, if there's a disparity in IQ and the reason could be identified and fixed, would it not be worth it? Sure.
Fixed.
But how do you mean by fixed? That's where the so what part comes in.
Yeah.
That's what I say. If we give them all of their arguments, just say, fine, everything you say is true. What is your solution? Where do we go from here? And that's where they always trip up, and that's where we always are told, well, you're being emotional. I'm not being emotional. I want to know what it is that you plan to do about this important issue.
Well,
it's so important that, go ahead.
I was just going to say is that if they make this argument, it's like, okay, IQ is different and say, okay, how is that a problem?
Yeah, exactly.
I'd be really curious to know what their answer is. Like, how is that a problem? Who's that a problem for, first and foremost? And then what do you plan to do to fix it? So let's see. Prospero says, Ranting Monkey, didn't Thomas Sowell address the change in IQ across the 20th century, and he was addressing Jewish immigrants?
He may have. I like Thomas Sowell, but I'm not a huge follower. Every now and then something will come up that he's written, and it'll come across my path, and I'll read it, and I like him. But race is a lousy way to slice IQ. I agree, absolutely. So that's Skeptalk saying it. Different subgroups. It's actually interesting. I mean, if you go in and look at IQ test 1, and I know this pisses people off, but it's absolutely true. IQ tests are a measure of what you already know. And when you look at like the ones they always point to are the ones that are cognitive tests, you know, just like this shape is flat. How do you make this shape using these flat things? And I would say, see, even these ones black people don't do as well in, especially, you know, sub-Saharan Africa. What you don't understand is in the U.S., almost from the time a baby is born, we are pushing cognitive ability on them. We are testing their cognitive abilities with blocks and different puzzles we give them all the time. You know what you don't really do a lot in the African bush? Puzzles. I mean, it's not like they're sitting around with them, you know, buying them at their local Walmart for their kids. There's so much that goes into IQ, and God, I'm there was
Did I come back
the only
race
yeah
realism?
We're on race realism.
Yeah, oh
Sorry.
yeah, that's right. Woohoo.
People get mad about the whole IQ thing when I say it's a measure of what you already know. Here's a great example. It is. The Business Insider wrote to Mensa and talked to them, and they wanted an IQ test, and Mensa wouldn't give them one. But what they did is gave them sample questions, questions that could be on a test. And if you look this up, it's the second question. And sorry, my memory is shit. I forget exactly what it was, but it was adding a word to the beginning of 5 other words to change them into a new word. The same one to the beginning of each one would change it. And I remember the word was band because one of the words that it made was bandit. And there is absolutely no way you can get that question right unless you know all of those words. Period. There is no way you can take a 3D shape and look at a flat version of it and put it together if you don't understand what you're trying to do there. So it is absolutely a question of things you are, or a test of things you already know. You can't be tested on things you don't know because that's just guessing.
Okay.
Oh God.
Let's do something else. I don't care.
People, if you have other questions,
Yeah,
please. I don't want to be talking about race realism all fucking.
I honestly don't care about IQ or race realism or any of this stuff because
there's 100 years of scientific analysis of intelligence, bruh. Yeah. Look up the Floyd effect.
Okay. Let's move on. Because I don't care.
It takes your 100 years of scientific analysis and kicks it right in the ass.
Okay. Let's move on.
Scribe, coffee or tea?
Tea.
Coffee.
I don't like coffee. Let's see.
I don't like coffee. How do you drink your tea? Do you drink tea?
How do I, out of a cup?
You don't like lemon, cold, sugar?
Oh, how do I like my tea? Not how do I drink my tea.
How do you take your tea?
You're an
How do I
ass.
take my tea? I am a literalist. What do you want? I try to be very specific about what's being said.
Wait. No,
Yes.
You gave me shit last night for pointing out that the guy who was writing that article said that his wife's brother and dad weren't women.
No,
Wait,
they
you
weren't
went,
white.
No, you did.
Oh.
Yes, but the quote was that she was she was seen as a white woman and that her brother and dad were not.
Yes.
And I said, of course they weren't seen as women. And you went, like I said something wrong. And now you're going to claim you're just a literalist.
No, I do that when it's like a pun. What are you talking about?
Done. Fight.
Okay, literalist. How do you take your tea?
Fight.
By like 2 sugar cubes or honey if I've got it.
How irritating is it when a girl calls her boyfriend daddy? It's kind of creepy, really.
Depends on the relationship.
I mean, well, I say it's kind of creepy, but then, I mean, when I was young, old people referred to each other as mommy and daddy all the time.
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean?
They would call each other mommy and daddy.
Or
Like,
mother and father or that kind of thing. You know?
Yeah, yeah. And it's something that, I mean, as my children grew up, I caught myself doing with, you just get so used to saying, you know, go ask mom, or referring to her as mom,
Yeah.
that, you know, like I would walk up to her and go, what are you doing, mom? And it's not because I was calling her my mommy. It's just a habit of calling her that.
Weibo says, what if the boyfriend calls the girlfriend daddy? That's a whole other different kind of dynamic.
See, I told you we were dirty as fuck. Chatmore says, I call my fiance daddy, but only when I'm referring to him while talking to our cats.
There you go.
Okay. I'm not judging anybody here tonight.
Well, I think you are. Some people.
I judge everybody all the time. What do you guys think about that? The notion that we shouldn't judge people?
It's human nature to assess someone. You know, it's like the lizard brain instinct of seeing seeing something across the far savannah and trying to figure out whether or not it's a threat or not to your survival. And it's just been, you know, refined and adapted over the years to just, you know, assessing people on reflex.
I think it's impossible not to judge people. I don't think you should necessarily treat them badly because you judge.
No.
But it's human nature, and I don't believe in fighting human nature too much. Weibo says, just so we're clear, I call my boyfriend Captain, not Daddy.
Captain? Are you his boat? Captain. Does he sail you? Does he like stand on top of you in the pool or something?
I don't even know how Captain would come up.
I mean, I suppose if he needs to sink his submarine in you.
They were watching SpongeBob, probably.
Oh.
Am I right about that? I bet you I'm right.
What is your favorite holiday food or snack that you're looking forward to in the next 2 months?
Oh my god. Did you say the sweet potatoes with marshmallows are so good?
Holiday food or snack? Well, I mean, I really like turkey and I really like green bean casserole. So.
I mean, like, but on Thanksgiving.
Stuffing, yeah, stuffing. Good
on
stuffing.
Thanksgiving, like the sweet potatoes and canned cranberry sauce are like the only thing I'll eat. So that's.
I was gonna guess Dead Poet Society.
What?
Weibo says it was from Dead Poet Society. Captain, my captain.
Oh yeah, Captain, my captain. He stands on the table.
Yeah, it's the only way he'll respond to his students is if they call him that.
Oh, Captain, my captain.
That's a weird relationship to have with your students.
Have you never seen? Why am I asking this question? Have you ever seen the Dead Poet Society?
Nope.
Okay.
Dead Poet. It's a great movie, and that comes from a poem, doesn't it?
Yes.
That I mean, that part I knew.
I don't know the name of the poem, but yes. Because I'm not that kind of English major. 2-minute warning, guys, which means pretty much a 1-minute warning because we'll take a minute to say our goodbyes. Walt Whitman says, Uzi Q, I'll believe you.
Oh, Jordan. He's the captain because he cleans the poop deck.
Oh! Does that beat transplant? Does that beat transplant? No?
Transplant is still... Transplant was awesome. That's I gotta get
man. That's a good one.
I'm voting transplant. I'm sorry. Like transplant was.
Yeah, the captain doesn't clean the poop deck. Actually, that'd be a swabby. So. Yeah.
Like,
but it was still good. It was still good.
Yeah, no, it was still good. It was still good.
In order to be pun of the night, it has to work.
Yeah.
Try harder, guys. I want puns.
All right, guys. That's pretty much going to wrap it up for tonight. So, oh, wait. Lebo Jones says, the captain doesn't clean the poop deck. It's true. Learn your boatism.
Learn your boatism.
Well, Chad, thank you so much for coming on tonight. I think the pun of the night is transplant.
Absolutely.
And that was that Captain Brambles? Who said that?
I don't know.
It really sucks that we don't remember who said the pun of the night. So remind us in the comments, or if anybody in the chat right now knows. Either way, thank you, Chad, for coming out tonight. Thank you, moderators, for keeping an eye on things for us. Thank you, everyone who donated. I have a lot of ads to work on. I will do my best to get them all done by tomorrow night. So fingers crossed. We'll be
Captain
on.
Bramble says it was him.
Okay. I thought it was. I just want to check my memory because God knows I have early onset Alzheimer's somewhere in me. Tomorrow night we'll be on Monkey's channel. Same monkey time, same monkey channel or something. Monkey SDA, thank you for joining me as always. Guys, hope you have a good and safe evening, and we'll see you tomorrow. And also, your lives make us sad. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.